so plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of testimony. Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church stand or fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly.
Travis Wayne Goodsell, a brand new year. I put the monthly playlist on the homepage so that people can refer to that playlist to see what videos I did during the month that they may have missed. And if you don't use the video page to see where your red line last left you, assuming there are those who do that rather than come to a video that is recommended on the rare occasion by YouTube. So, the first chapter of the Book of Mormon is the pattern for the whole Book of Mormon. The learning of the Jews is about Deuteronomy 18, 15 through 19. This is the Jewish law. This is the book of the law. And this is about their Christ. And in case you're unaware, the Jewish religion, the Jewish interpretation of their scripture, and the Jewish Christ is not Christian. And the whole Bible is Jewish. Not a single one is Christian. And so each of the stories are not literal history. They are specifically written as prophetic for the latter days as understood by the Jews. And so, sorry, this may come as a shock, but Jesus is not real. You were fooled by your Mormon or Christian religion. And Joseph Smith knew and understood this. And if Mormons would merely study, despite the weaknesses and the footnoting purposely, maliciously done by the church, you would have caught on to this. Now that you have Google search, it makes it a whole lot easier to study your scriptures, as you can look up definitions of words, as you can look up what the mysteries of the Jews are. And it's not a murder mystery of a rabbi. And so you need to add religion in your Google search. Jewish mystery religion. So that you find Kabbalah about the tree of life. And so if only Mormons who leave the church understood this as well. They too would stop doing videos doubting and criticizing Mormons and their apologetics for the Christianization of the Book of Mormon. And apparently I'm the only one who's doing videos talking about the learning of the Jews of the Book of Mormon. And this is the year to study the Book of Mormon in the church. And so you've got everybody else giving you false information. So this law of the Jews about their Christ, the Lord thy God will raise up seed. You have to watch other videos of mine to understand what's going on. Seed, egg, baby. That's it. Right there. Human. Unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren. Like unto me, a man like Moses. And for Mormons in Joseph Smith's scripture and in the Book of Mormon, he's also referred to as the one mighty and strong, which is the most popular term that I think Mormons understand him as. And so you need to use this pattern in all the Jewish scriptures, because they did when they wrote it. Likewise, the Book of Mormon. The contemporary authors who wrote the Book of Mormon used this pattern. And they obtained over 36 contemporary books to construct the Book of Mormon for this purpose. And so as you read through the Book of Mormon, you're supposed to be looking for the Exodus pattern. And so it starts off with Nephi talking. He's Moses. He's the Christ, the one mighty and strong of the future Mormon. And then we get to Lehi in verse 4. He's now the Christ. Each of the stories are to be separated out from the rest of the book, but it's put in as a continuous narrative. So if you separate it out, compare it with the Exodus of Moses, then you begin to see the message that is being taught. And so we left off after the first and second vision of Lehi that are directly parallel comparisons with Joseph Smith's first and second visions of 1838. He purposely wrote them that way. And so even though he says it's a history, he's using the learning of the Jews. Those events did not happen. He is teaching Mormons about the latter-day Christ. Thus the second vision, verse 40, there he is. And thus the warning to us in our day right now. And Mormons have fallen. Mormons have failed their second estate. And utter destruction awaits. And so here we see the same pattern with Lehi. Therefore I would that ye should know that after the Lord had shown in the book, Nephi, or Joseph Smith was given the Book of Mormon. Lehi is given a book, also by Emmanuel, the sun god at noonday, the latter-day Christ. So many marvelous things unto my father Lehi, yea, concerning the destruction of Jerusalem. Not Judah, even though that's phonetically the same as Utah. Zedekiah is king of Judah, which includes Jerusalem. And even though Jerusalem is the capital city where the throne is, it's not literal history, is it? And so this is a dualism. It's both Washington, D.C., the seat of government, and it's Utah, the seat of the religion that usurped the religion of Joseph Smith, just as the government has been usurped. And so the destruction is for the whole United States of America and includes Mormons. Right here in the Book of Mormon, in the learning of the Jews. See what you miss when you use literal history Christian interpretation? There's a reason why the creation of Christianity sent the whole world into the Dark Ages. It required an Enlightenment period, and then a Reformation. And so after being shown in the book, he went forth among the people and began to prophesy and to declare unto them concerning the things which he had both seen and heard. And so as a prophecy, this is 23rd September 2017. And the Christ of Mormons will go before Mormons to prophesy and declare unto them the things which he sees in the scriptures concerning them for the latter days. That's how you will know him, Mormons. He will be the only one who knows the information, will be the only one to tell you. So how will Mormons respond to him? And it came to pass that the Jews, Mormons, did mock him. This is a consistent pattern throughout the Book of Mormon, because of the things which he testified of them. For he truly testified of their wickedness and their abominations. The great and abominable church. The first creed of Christianity is an abomination in his sight. Abominations. He will expose the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as the abominable church with the abominable Christ. Right there. Verse 19. And he testified that the things which he saw and heard, and also the things which he read in the book, manifested plainly. The whole of Scriptures manifests plainly of the coming of Him, the Messiah, for Mormons. And He will go over those with you, sharing how the prophecies were fulfilled for His life, leading up to the latter days. And also of the redemption of the world, so that mankind can be saved from the extermination event that's coming. Because only in Zion will there be peace, safety, and refuge. But Mormons, like I said, they refuse to believe. They are stuck believing in the abominable church with the abominable Christ. They have failed their second estate. And so, yes, we are looking at an extermination event of Mormons, not just potentially of humans. And when the Jews, Mormons, heard these things, they were angry with him. Got a comment reply coming up today. Yea, even as with the prophets of old, Joseph and Hiram, whom they had cast out and stoned and slain, the Danites. And they also sought his life, that they might take it away. So not only getting death threats, but the Mormon Christ will have to struggle to survive, as the great and abominable church with the Mormons will seek to murder him. And as I've gone over, it's already happened. All of this has already happened. It is no longer a prophecy, it has been fulfilled. We only have a few more months left until the latter days is officially over, with the last day. Apparently, I see that there's a lot of people who didn't like it that I got the final year calendar of the Egyptians. Why would people be upset with that? But behold, I, Nephi, will show unto you that the tender mercies of the Lord are over all those whom he hath chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. Why are they not chosen? Because of their faith, to make them mighty even unto the power of deliverance, the manifestation of their faith into truth. Faith with works is life. Seed turned into fruit is life. It's not enough to plant the seed. It's not action works. It's fulfillment works. It's the result of your labor. An artwork. And so, chapter 2, came to pass that the Lord spake unto my father, even in a dream. See the pattern here? Dreams, visions. And said unto him, Blessed art thou, Lehi, because of the things which thou hast done, because thou hast been faithful and declared unto this people the things which I commanded thee. The law says he will speak what comes to his heart and mind. He won't have a script. Behold, they seek to take away thy life. And it came to pass that the Lord commanded my father, even in a dream, that he should take his family and depart into the wilderness. Ether and Moroni is my fate. And it came to pass that he was obedient unto the word of the Lord, wherefore he did as the Lord commanded him. And it came to pass that he departed into the wilderness. And he left his house and his land of his inheritance, and his gold and silver and his precious things, took nothing with him, save it were his family, provisions, tents, departed into the wilderness. And then we get another story where he sends Nephi back, who's now born, because Nephi is born in the same year. It's not literal history, but specifically written to tell us that that's what happened. And so we don't see the 8-year period of time here, as we do when they leave the Red Sea and go to Bountiful. I brought that up in a video. It's 1 Nephi chapter 17 that covers that. It took them 8 years for their journey in the wilderness. The wilderness was desert. What's Utah? Desert. So for 8 years, he has been preaching to Mormons. And this is it. The final countdown before destruction and before the forced exodus upon Mormons, who will now be compelled to leave. I'm going to look it up. So we'll have to wait for the internet to pull up so I can search. But that's what the poor Zoramites experienced. The Zoramites were beyond redemption because of how they changed the doctrine. And it wasn't until the buildings were all built that the poor Zoramites were then kicked out and were shocked as to what to do with their lives now. They're poor, they don't own land, they can't farm, they had no clue what to do. And it was in that condition that they were in a state to follow anybody that would lead them, which is a dangerous time because authoritarians love to do that to people so that they take over. But in the Book of Mormon story, it's Alma and Amulek who take the opportunity to reprogram their minds to learn the truth for themselves, giving the scientific version of faith rather than the Christian version, which had led to their expulsion. trying to look for the date. The city fell. That's 2nd of Adar, 597 BCE. Curious to... Oh, it's March 16th. It says so. Interesting. Interesting. But 11 years later, 586. I knew I saw it before. Maybe if I would be an Adar, because I think both of them were in the same thing. Jewish month, Adar. And it was 2nd Adar, wasn't it? Yeah, this is a leap year too. 2024 is a leap year. And I believe it's a leap year in the Jewish calendar too. Oh, it's 2nd Adar, not 2 Adar. Okay. That's a different date. The 2nd day of Adar month. Supposedly the death of Moses was on the 7th of Adar. Death of Zedekiah on the 27th. Death of Nebuchadnezzar on the 25th. Well, let's just Google search it right out and see if we can find it. July. Tisha B'Av. The Siege of Jerusalem. That's the Wikipedia page. Which was what month? Tammuz or Sivan. I'm willing to bet it's Tammuz. Ninth of Tammuz, 586. Jerusalem walls are breached. So this is a potential pattern even though the last day of the latter days is 8 April 2024, the actual collapse could be later in the year. Just so that you're aware. Because of the patterns. So, and so this is what you're looking for when you go through the Book of Mormon. Story after story, pull them out from the context and compare it with the Exodus. And then you'll see what's the same as the prophecies, and you can then see the additional information given to us, as the Book of Mormon is letting us know that the Book of Mormon is specifically a book for Mormons to be warned of this destruction, and their Christ would be presenting it to them to warn them, because the Book of Mormon became a stumbling block for them because of the great and abominable church. Isn't that in the Book of Mormon? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I should probably add, later in the Book of Mormon, we learn that 600 years from the time of this leaving, the Christ is supposed to be born. But that's not the case, as the Book of Mormon tells us it's not the case. And so this is where Joseph Smith Sr. is using gematria in a different way, mixing it with astronomy to give us specific dates of the latter days. And he does this in conjunction with the sacrifice of Isaac at the top of the mountain, Utah. That's the conjunction, sign in the heavens, for 8 April 4 CE over Russia. And so 2020 years to the date is the last day of the latter days. 2020 years. And so in 2020, what happened? The Exodus pattern match. The Christ sued the great and abominable church in Pharaoh's court. Let my people go. Creeping death appeared, and the waters were parted. I saw a comment by Stanford on that, in which it wasn't a miracle. It wasn't supernatural. The waters parted because of drought. I had done the video earlier that year saying that if an event happens, or if we get enough believers to meet at the Green River turnoff at the 70 and the whatever 119 is it? Whatever one it was. And so some months later, sure enough, the news reported that the Green River had dried up. The actual Green River dried up. Hilarious and shocking. And so yeah, it all happened just as prophesied by Joseph Smith Sr. That's prophecy. Not the title of prophet. Actual predicting the future prophecy. So that was quite amazing. But yeah, I did get mocked. Mormons don't get it. The prophecies are all fulfilled. This is it. This is the final prophecies to be fulfilled. And it doesn't make any sense that these final prophecies won't happen and that therefore I'm wrong. Because everything's already happened. It's obviously I'm right. The Mormons continue to deny, continue to mock, continue to seek my life, to take it away, to reinforce their Christian Jesus beliefs. They are evil antichrist whores, literally and figuratively. So, I thought that was amazing. That everything is a pattern. You need to check it. So you got to learn astronomy, you got to learn Jewish Kabbalah, you got to learn the history of the world, because otherwise you're going to be left in the dark with your learning, and you're going to fall prey to these false prophets, false Christs, false teachers who are very popular because they tell Mormons what Mormons want to hear. And Mormons don't want to listen to somebody who tells them what they don't want to hear. Right? So, Happy New Year. Whole point and purpose is to save your life. And how you treat me is a manifestation of the truth of your wickedness.